Namaskar friends, I am Dr. Deepak Mashru. Today I am very excited to welcome you on behalf of School of Law, Forensic Justice and Policy Studies at National Forensic Sciences University, Gujarat, Bharat. Let us start this wonderful and interesting journey of learning together a new area of linguistics, that is forensic linguistics. Our first online course on forensic linguistics is something special. It's not just a course, it is an adventure into the world of words and their mysteries. Have you ever thought about how your words can solve puzzles or how they can tell more than just stories? Yes, that is something different, unique that we are going to explore in this course. Forensic linguistics is like being a detective but with words. We'll use language to unlock secrets, solve crimes, and understand how people communicate. It is a tool that helps us to see the unseen and hear the unspoken words. Right? As we step into this journey, remember each word you learn is a key to the new world. So, are you ready to turn the page and start this exciting adventure with me? I'm sure your answer will be yes. Let's start. Welcome to the week 1 of our journey. This week is all about diving deep into the fascinating world of linguistics and forensic linguistics. Let us explore together. Now, when somebody talks about linguistics, what comes to your mind? There can be various answers. Probably all can be right. I can tell you something about this. We can put linguistics in this way too. Linguistics is like a treasure map of languages. It shows us how languages work, how they change, and how people use them in different ways. It's about more than just words. It's about how we connect with each other, how we communicate with each other, how we explore, how we share our feelings, emotions with others. Now, when we talk about forensic linguistics, if we narrow down this and understand the concept of forensic linguistics, we can say that it's a special part of linguistics. It's one of the branches of linguistics. It's like being a language detective. Sounds very fascinating, no? We use our knowledge of languages to help solve mysteries in the world of law and justice. Just imagine using words as clues. It sounds very interesting, isn't it? This week, we'll start by exploring the basics, like how do sounds form words, how do words create meaning, and how do this meaning change in different situations. It's all about understanding the power of language. The more you know, the more powerful you are with reference to language. Right? By the end of this week, I must tell you, you will start looking at language in the whole new way. You will find a Sherlock Holmes in you, and you will begin to see the hidden layers of everyday conversations. You will start observing with new perception, with new angle when we communicate with others. So, let's get ready to resolve the mysteries of language together. Now, let's talk about the heart of our course, that is linguistics. As we know that the course name is divided in 2 parts, forensic and linguistics. So, in week 1, we'll be more or less talking about basics of linguistics, their sub branches of linguistics, and how linguistics and forensic linguistics, they interplay. Fine. So we'll be talking about those things in this week. Imagine linguistics as a big puzzle of human language. It's about understanding how we talk and listen to. It's about how we write and read. In a way, we can say it's a science of language. So, let's talk about sub branches of linguistics one by one. We can start with the first one, that is phonetics. Phonetics is all about sounds. How do we make sounds? how are they different in different languages, and each language is its own variety of phonetics. We'll be talking about more about phonetics in the coming videos, but I must tell you one thing, that the way we speak, that can help us determining where are you from, what's your background, what's the selection of words while speaking, the way of speaking, your accent and everything, right, that can help us in identifying the profiling of the speaker. If we add one adjective to phonetics, that is forensic phonetics, another way where we can look at the things. In a linguistics, we call it MTI, mother tongue influence. But that mother tongue influence can help us to find out what is the mother tongue of the speaker. So this is how we can find out the new perception when we talk about forensic linguistics, right? It's very fascinating to hear the varieties of phonetics, when we talk about different languages. The next branch that we can find is phonology. Phonology is all about how sounds come together in a language. Metaphorically, I can say that it's like a music of speech. We can find that waves, some sounds are high, some sounds are low, right, and they all make beautiful rhythm, right. So we'll talk about more in detail, right, in phonology in the coming videos. Moving to the next one, right, that is, we can dive deep into the concept of morphology. That's all about smallest units of meaning in words. Think about how adding an, you and un as a prefix to happy, that changes the meaning from happy to unhappy. That's morphology. Dear learners, I must tell you one thing, that using root words while acquiring proficiency or mastering vocabulary is one of the best ways. It is not possible for us to find out, to remember all the words, but using root words, which can be somewhere around less than 300 rather, you can find out how that word can be of, right. So that is morphology, fine. So using words before or after the word, right, the main word we call it stem, and whatever is added before is prefix, whatever is added after is suffix. By adding prefix or suffix when the words are changes, right, that change is known as morphology, right. So we'll talk about it in detail in the coming videos, right. Next one is syntax, right. So we talk about structure. Syntax means structure, right. So in a language point of view, we can say that we put words together to make sentences. That scientific way of putting the right word at the right place is grammar, right, and that is what we call syntax, right. We can say that it's like building blocks, but for language. How do the words fit together and gives us one meaning, right, that is syntax. Why do we say that the cat sat on the mat and not sat cat on mat or something else? Because we follow a particular rule or sequence to form a sentence, right. Why we talk about this? Because when we talk about forensic linguistics in the coming weeks, we'll come to know that there are two types of languages we can find. One is English for spoken English, right, English for spoken purposes, another is English for written purposes. So if you want to identify whether the person has written by himself or herself, or the person has been asked to write by giving dictation, that can be figured out using the syntactical things, right. So this very interesting thing we'll talk about with case studies, right, and examples in the coming weeks, right. Now next one is semantics. Broadly, semantics is language, but here we can find that the study of meaning. Semantics means the study of meaning. How do we understand what words mean? How can the same word mean different things? That's the beauty of English language. You can find the same word can have more than one meanings, and where we find the proficiency of the language. The person who is proficient in the language, that person knows which word should be used aptly at which place. This is about semantics, we can say. Finally, the next branch or sub branch of linguistics we can find is pragmatics. This is about how we use language in context. The same sentence can mean different things depending on where, when, and how you say it. Interesting, no? You will find the examples of all these sub branches in the e-content. So you must visit e-content and find out more detail about these branches. Understanding these concepts is like having a key to the secret world of language. It's exciting, isn't it? So let's unlock these secrets together. So broadly speaking, communication is about connecting with others, and linguistics, it's about bridging the gap that helps us cross over to understand each other better. Fine. So when a person, that is sender, who sends the message, has clarity about what he or she wants to convey, and that is conveyed through the proper words, proper language, it can be understood in the better way or effective way, or in the same way as it was intended to be. Fine. So this is what we call communication, right, where linguistics plays a role. Now thing is that this communication varies from situation to situation. You are the same person, but you will not speak in the same way the way you talk with your friends or with your family members or with your teachers. Will it be the same way you will talk? No, definitely not. That means the way you speak changes from situation to situation, right? And that is what we call linguistics in action. It shows us how language changes in different settings. Linguistics also reveals the beauty of languages. Do you know there are about 7,000 languages in the world? Yes, 7,000. I'm not talking about dialects. There can be more, 10 times to this one, maybe more than that. 7,000 languages means 7,000 set of what we talk today, right? 7,000 different opportunities to look into the language and connecting that with linguistics, forensic things. So this is a huge thing that we can find. Fine. And the beauty of this 7,000 languages is each one is unique with its own sounds, words, and rules. I can tell you that when people are there, coming from a vernacular background, or when there is a heterogeneous class, fine. What we can do is we can even think about that comparative analysis of 3 languages, 4 languages, right? Or if you Google it out, or if you search, from the authentic sources, you will find that there are different language, what we call language trees. Fine, where we find that where language comes from. Fine. So we can find out language families, and we will able to know. For example, in the coming videos I'm going to talk about. For example, in the coming videos I'm going to talk about the language Sanskrit. Right. Sanskrit is base of many languages. So that can be a one beautiful way or area of research, where we can have comparative analysis of linguistics features. What you will discover? You will discover how linguistics help us appreciate these differences and find common ground, number one. We'll also see how linguistics is used in technology like voice recognition and in helping people learn new languages. By understanding the role of linguistics in communication, you will start to see language in the whole new light. It's not just words and sentences. It's a window into the human mind and heart. So in rhyming we may say that head and heart, right? So it's a window into the human's head and heart. Fine. So you can find out the person's mindset. You can find out what is going on, what are the emotions that person carries at the time of speaking or writing, right? This is the beauty, right? If you can find out that layer, that lens of forensic with linguistics, right, that can help you a lot to understand. Now let's see how linguistics is used in the real world. It's amazing to see how the study of language influences so many areas of our lives. If you just jot down that how many areas are there where we use language on linguistics, I can tell you even the tougher task. You jot down the areas where we do not use language and you will find none. You will not find a single area where we do not use language. Fine. So this is the beauty. So we have all areas around us where we use language. We can start from technology to law, from education to business. Everywhere linguistics plays a key role in communication. For example, in technology, linguistics is behind the voice recognition systems in our phones and computers. We have seen that when we have this smart homes, smart appliances, Alexa switch on the fan and the fan starts. Alexa switch on the AC and AC starts. We look at the Alexa only, we look at the technology only, but behind that computational linguistics is there, where your voice are converted into commands, right? That is the new perception that we can develop, and we can find out new ways of even career opportunities. Fine. It helps these devices understand what we say. Imagine talking to your phone and it responds, right? Hello Google or Siri or Alexa, when they respond back to you, that means linguistics is working in the back end of this technology. In law, forensic linguistics is crucial. It helps solve crimes by analyzing language. For instance, figuring out if a note was written by a certain person, or understanding what someone really meant in their statement. Right? This can be decoded, this can be identified, distinguished when we apply different functions of forensic linguistics, and that's the beauty that we are all talking about today. And that's the beauty that is all we are talking about today. Education is another field where linguistics is vital. It helps us understand how children learn languages, which is important for teaching them effectively. Just imagine if you have a class where the students sitting in the class are of heterogeneous background, and the medium of instruction that the teacher uses is not known by the students sitting there, they will not be able to connect. So we need to find out a common bridge, right? A common place. In Venn diagram we call it gray area, right? Where both can communicate effectively, easily, conveniently and meaningfully, right? It's fascinating to see how quickly children pick up new words. Fine. And by using technology we can make it more effective, efficient and more meaningful. Now if you look at the another angle, that angle of business. In business, knowing about language can help a lot. It's all about communicating with clients, writing persuasive emails, right, and understanding cultural differences. Remember, good communication is key to success, no doubt about it. By the end of this week, you will start to see how linguistics touches almost every part of our lives. It is not just an academic subject. It's a practical tool that helps us understand and shape the world. Right? So what are you waiting for? So let's start and embark on this exciting journey together. Let us discover how the power of language can open new doors and create new possibilities. As we come to the end of this introductory video for week 1, I hope you are as excited as I am. about embarking on this linguistic adventure. Remember, this is just the beginning of a journey that will open your eyes to the wonders of language and its impact on the world. Throughout this course, you'll not only learn fascinating concepts but also apply them in practical scenarios too. And I also advise you that you can figure out such scenarios, such case studies, and you can share, right, through forums, and that can help us discuss more through peers with us, right, and we'll be more than happy to help you, right. You'll become language detectives, uncovering mysteries in communication and solving real world problems then, right. I invite you to be curious, ask questions, and participate actively. Share your thoughts in our online discussions, engage with your peers, and let's learn from each other. Every perspective is unique and valuable with reference to this course. And don't worry if some concepts seem challenging at first. We are here to guide you every step of the way. We are dedicated to make this learning experience enriching and enjoyable for you. So, are you ready to explore the power of words and unlock the secrets of language? If your answer is yes, I know it is yes, right? Join us on this incredible journey. Let's dive into the fascinating world of forensic linguistics together. Be in touch, stay tuned. Thank you very much. Namaskar.